You're watching My Indy TV 23. Now from the ISC Sports Network, this is high school basketball.
Consider this an early Christmas present to basketball fans across the state of Indiana. 1A number 1 Barr-Reeve, 4A number 2 Carmel, and I'm not sure it's going to take a Festivus miracle for Barr-Reeve to be competitive. These are two of the top 20 teams in the state, and it comes your way next on ISC and My Indy TV.
High school basketball on ISC and My Indy TV is presented in part by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine, inspired by your competitive spirit. By Ivy Tech. Check out the most affordable way to earn your college degree and start in a high-paying career at ivytech.edu. By the Indy Card Exchange, Indiana's source for vintage and modern sports cars. By Old National Bank, your bank for Indianapolis. And by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, Indiana's hometown mortgage lender.
Happy holidays to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us on the ISC Sports Network and My Indy TV. Alongside Bob Lovell, Greg Rakestraw with you. What a treat this late afternoon matinee. Again, there is a difference of nearly 5,200 students between these two schools. Trust me, in today's basketball game, they'll be a lot closer, Carmel and Barr-Reeve.
Yeah, now, I think that's one of the elements that makes it such a neat matchup, Greg, aside from the fact that these are two really well-drilled, well-coached, and talented teams at or near the top of their respective classes. And you don't get these opportunities very often, especially now in a COVID-related situation schedule-wise. But it was a game that was agreed upon prior to this. It's been on the schedule for a while, and everybody's rightfully excited about this.
Each of these two teams are 6-0. This is the second 4A team that Barr-Reeve has played this season. You and I saw them beat Bloomington South 15 days ago. Clearly the best team that will be on Barr-Reeve's schedule. But again, we think they can hang with Carmel today.
I think they can. I think they have the inside presence with Kurt Hope. I think their guard play is really superior.
Again, Carmel comes in at 6-0, same as Barr-Reeve. Both these two teams hang their hat on defense. Carmel is allowing 40 points a game. Barr-Reeve tops in the state. Opponents are scoring just 29 points per contest against the Vikings this season. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back. Keys to this game and starting lineups and the opening tip-off. Merry Christmas, basketball fans across the state of Indiana. Thanks for joining us for Barr-Reeve and Carmel right here on the ISC Sports Network and My Indy TV.
Retirement living doesn't have to be expensive. Welcome to Encore 55-plus boutique apartments, offering resort-style amenities for independent adults at normal apartment rates, not inflated independent living prices. Encore offers full service without high prices. We offer easy move and easy lease programs. Visit liveencore.com or call 317-570-1422 to schedule your tour. Don't wait, we're leasing up.
Inspired by your nerves of steel and the nerves and joints that help our bodies go. Inspired by your return to battle and vanquishing your hand and wrist pain. Inspired by longer walks and breakthrough joint replacements that keep you in step. We're inspired to deliver the best in orthopedic care because at Franciscan Health, we're inspired by you.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have to.
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No
a big
way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
take a look around some of the sights at the Eric Clark Activity Center. There's not enough time to show you all of the state championships that Carmel has put together over the years. We'll try to do that throughout the course of the broadcast. Starting lineups for Barr-Reeve have just been produced. We'll give them to you in a matter of moments. But first, how about our keys to the game presented by Old National Bank, your bank for Indianapolis. For Barr-Reeve, it's handle what Carmel does so well, their physical half-court defense.
Well, they're going to come at you now. They're going to get great pressure on the ball. They're going to deny passes. They're very, very good at quick and early help in the post. And so you've got to handle that for 32 minutes. And it is a tall task for people.
On the flip side, the 1A team wants to play faster today. Barr-Reeve is the one's going to try to have their foot on the accelerator.
I think that, they really ideally would like to play a quicker pace, but I think the one thing that they realize is that people are going to try to slow them down wherever they play, and so you've got to settle in and be able to play that way. But if they had the opportunity, they're going to try to advance before, because the one thing you want to try to do against Carmel's half-court defense, score before they have a chance to settle in and go 5-on-5. You got to try to get some easy hoops.
Time for our starting lineups now. They are presented by Encore. 55-plus boutique apartments. Full service without the high prices. Go to liveencore.com to schedule your personal tour. Brian Waddell, the leading scorer for Carmel, is over 19 points a game. Wright State has shown some interest. Of course, Brian is the son of Matt Waddell, who played at Purdue. Starting five for Barr-Reeve. You get a good look at their point guard and Bryson Graber. It is Kurt Hope that is their leader from an offensive standpoint, just shy of 20 points a game. He'll play for Scotty Davenport at Bellarmine next season, and we are underway. This is a one-time matchup, a one-year contract, no return date. These two teams that both hope to be playing in late March at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, and Hagen Neck gets the first basket for the Vikings.
One of the things you do attacking that pack line defense, Greg, attack from the top. Put them on the floor, go to the rim from the top. It's hard from a wing. It's easier from the top.
So Barr-Reeve gets the opening bucket of the game to take a 2-0 lead. This Carmel team played both Friday and Saturday on the road this past weekend, beating North Central and then winning at New Albany, and a steal picked up by the Vikings.
Well, we talk about the defense of Carmel. Say Barr-Reeve team that's, as you heard, lead the state in defensive points allowed for a reason.
Really have been in one close game so far this year. That was the game that you and I had at the Vikings ship against Bloomington South. It finished at 41-36. They have dispatched with ease virtually everyone else they have played.
Well, one thing you see early, Greg, is they're going to double up Kurt Hope in the post as much as they can.
Graber, three. Got it.
Penetrate pitch.
Graber, a 36% three-point shooter. Make it 5-0 Vikings as they've got buckets on their first two trips.
The length of trip doesn't seem to bother them. They came off the bus ready to play.
And this is a team that will make a similar trip next week. They're playing in the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic in Newcastle 7 days from now. And they will take on Blackhawk Christian. And if you go by the IBCA coaches poll, and I'm not sure I disagree, that means they are playing two of the top three teams in the state in the span of 7 days, as WAC can't get the bucket to go, and Barr-Reeve gets the defensive board. 4 out, 1 in. Pretty simple offense here for Barr-Reeve. But Hope, again, can float to the outside and can knock down the outside shot.
They're going to try to front him inside, get help from the backside. And you got to, again, they'll screen in for him. He'll screen and step out.
And it's steps called.
Yep.
Just a little bit of a shuffle by Graber. And one thing that we don't expect to see a lot of today are turnovers. These two combined for 15 turnovers a game. Both of them under 8 turnovers a game.
I think it's one of the major reasons why they're both ranked so highly, because they value the ball. It's hard to score against them, and it's hard to make them turn it over.
Waddell and Suter, the two double-digit per-game scorers for Carmel. Without a couple of pieces today are the Greyhounds. Both Hunter Joy that would normally start for the Hounds, and Charlie Williams, who's been coming off the bench this season. Here is Suter, a 3-year starter for the Greyhounds. Western Michigan amongst the schools interested in Suter's services a couple of years from now. Bit of a thin bench today for the Greyhounds. Both teams probably would like to play 7 and not go much further than that. Suter will pull from 16 and gets a friendly bounce.
Got every bit of the rim, that's for sure. You see, again, trying to advance the ball quickly by Barr-Reeve after the much-needed score by Carmel.
So 5-2 is the score in favor of Barr-Reeve, 3.5 minutes in. Graber, left hand, tough shot, would not go. Frischi collects the rebound.
Wack did a nice job of really getting pressure on the shot, forcing just a little out of the range for that type of shot.
Suter from 17, not that time, and Hope at inside position, and Frischi gets whistled for the foul.
Probably a little quicker on that shot than what Coach Osborne would like.
Low block, Hope going to work. And again, that natural advantage of being left-handed. Frischi did a good job of holding his ground. Not enough contact there. Suter all the way down and scores.
A little miscommunication by Barr-Reeve, but how about Suter? Just takes it all the way to the rim. And to go back to that play, Hope bodied out there by Frischi. Did a nice job.
So 5-4 our score. Last 2 buckets belong to Pete Suter. And Waddell uses that 6-7 frame to snag that one out of the air. Second Barr-Reeve turnover. These two teams can match each other. Length for length, but Waddell with the finish.
Let me tell you what. Talk about turning on the jet. Got the step, the beautiful first step and the finish. Now you see it here. Ball reversal, the fake, and then elevation. Wow, what an absolutely spectacular move.
And Waddell will go to the free throw line where to say he has been solid is an understatement. He is 18 for 20 at the stripe this year. Carmel as a team, 80% from the line. So 3:20 left to go here in the opening quarter. Last 7 points belong to Carmel. 7-5, they lead it. Barr-Reeve scored their first 2 times down, and as we expected between these two teams, not a lot of possessions to be had. Knepp off of his hands, and Barr-Reeve now has given it away 3 times.
Yeah, and this one was just great defense. I mean, it's a good scouting report, too, because they're going to go wing, going to try to get a double screen, back screen away from the ball, and then a double screen, and great defensive pressure. Well done.
Beery checks out. Will Leary will check in, and Will is capable of, on a first touch, letting it fire from 21 plus. Turned it down that time. Leary got extensive experience a year ago, averaging 4.5 points a game this season. 6 of 16 from three-point range is Leary. 7-5 Carmel. Foul in the low block. That is on Hope. And again, for the success of this Barr-Reeve team, there is not a player that can replace him from a size standpoint. He's got to be judicious with those fouls.
No, he really does. And, you're going to pick up fouls just by playing hard. You don't want to give one up in a play like that.
Leary, design play for him and buries it.
Just as you called it. That most dangerous guy, Greg's the inbounder. So you get a little screen for him. Too easy if you're Barr-Reeve. Way too easy.
10 in a row for the Greyhounds. Their lead is up to 5 now at 2:15 left to go here in the opening quarter. And then a hand check foul coming here against Josh Wack. His first and team foul number 2. Josh averaging 5 points a game.
Not happy with the call, but, you slide your feet, try to get your hands out of it.
Now Knepp trying to do some work with the 6'7" Waddell guarding him, but finds a way around him and scores with the left hand.
Great patience, great recognition that he has some space and that Hope has screened out a defender from getting to him.
Knepp, the second leading scorer for the Vikings at 13.5 points a game. Makes it 10-7 in favor of Carmel. In this Barr-Reeve team, they have the length to match Carmel man for man.
Yeah, they really do. And it's a situation, too, where they also have quickness and physicality to match that length.
Barr-Reeve is a 1A team in terms of enrollment, not 1A in terms of athleticism. Hope does a great job.
He did.
Knowing he had a foul of holding his ground and gets the stop.
He really did. Just the great ball movement on both teams, Greg. I mean, think about it. Ball's not on the floor much. Moving it quickly.
These are two teams that can knock it down. Barr-Reeve 40% from three-point range. Carmel 41, which is why that three-point line is being so closely contested. Hope, no, great follow. We're trying to do a little bit too much with that, but Knepp able to track it down. And Frischi picks up the foul, his second, and you hear the applause. Let's point this out. Up to 700 people here at tonight's game. A lot of them are Barr-Reeve fans. Timeout, Carmel. Let's quickly step aside. 43 seconds left to play in the quarter. 10-7 Greyhounds on ISC and MyIndyTV.
The new year is almost here, and it's time to count down to a new beginning at Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is Indiana's best higher education value, offering flexibility, career-relevant programs, and thousands of courses, including online options. Complete a degree or certificate and start working right away, or transfer your credentials and credits and save thousands on the cost of a bachelor's degree. Wherever you're headed in 2021, Ivy Tech is the place to start. Classes begin in January. Complete a free application today.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score! Back to live action. Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you. Didn't miss a thing. 30 seconds and counting left to play before the end of the quarter. 10-7. Hounds leading the Vikings. Hope gets around. Missed it. By the way, the young man guarding him is Jared Bonds, who is up from the JV team. Suter on the drive. Offensive foul. Waiting on him was Devin Graber of Barr-Reeve.
Well, Devin Graber did what you're taught to do, to stand in there and draw, establish position, take the contact, and he did. You'll see it here. Maybe just a little bit of a lean, but still, when you're offensively, it's when you got to pull up. That's the kind of foul waiting to happen scenario.
Suter, 11 points per contest, 5 boards, 4 assists, and 3 steals a game. He does a little bit of everything for this Carmel team. 5 seconds left to go in the quarter. Ball's going to go up. Hope obliges, and fittingly, we are tied at the end of quarter number 1. 10 for Barr-Reeve, 10 for Carmel. A minute for us. We're back after this on ISC and MyIndyTV.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
For a second consecutive year, the MIC is back on the ISC Sports Network. 40 events planned, the entirety of the football and basketball seasons. Not to mention special events like the wrestling championships, the swimming championships, and other sports in all 3 athletic seasons. All 8 teams, all the state champions can be found right here. The MIC on the ISC Sports Network.
Today's game on ISC and MyIndyTV, presented in part by the Indy Card Exchange, where they are actively buying collections from all eras of sports cards. Follow on Facebook and Instagram, or go to IndyCardExchange.com for more information and see how you can make money off of your collection. Alongside Bob Lovell, Greg Rakestraw with you. Happy holidays here on ISC and MyIndyTV. Thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Working one more day before the mini Christmas break for us. We're back at it next Tuesday.
A 1-4 set to start this quarter by Carmel. a little more structured to it.
First 5 points belong to Barr-Reeve, next 10 to Carmel. Last 5 to the Vikings. Barr-Reeve has kept their starting 5 on the floor the entire game.
We always talk about the game being a game of spurts, and that's exactly what you're talking about.
Inside out for Leary.
Wow.
Again, it is rare in high school you have a guy that literally on offense just is kind of a sniper. He's that guy for this Carmel team.
And you know, from a coaching standpoint, look, it's part of the scouting report. You can't stay away from the guy. You can't give him that much space.
And for you Barr-Reeve fans, you hear Leary, you see 30. Yes, that is Todd's son that played at Lawrence North and Indiana University. A lot of college ties on this Carmel team. Graber gets downhill, passes up the 2. Devin Graber with the layup.
Great decision by Devin Graber. The shot fake, puts it on the floor, 2 bounces to the rim.
And Devin is a solid three-point shooter.
Yeah,
it's rare that he puts it on the floor to go to the hoop.
Now he's planted that doubt in the minds of defenders. Is he going to shot fake me? Is he going to go ahead and take it up? It's a great move.
Orm about to check in for Carmel. Now Suter going to work. Again, it's rare that Suter and Graber see each other and see a kid of similar athletic ability guarding the other. But that's one of the great matchups in this game today. Black, not a player that usually looks for his own shot. He's in there for his defensive purposes. And Suter going to be called for carrying a basketball.
Yeah, you know what? And he had plenty of space, too. And he's asking for some help. Not there, though.
Tommy Kidwell will check in for Barr-Reeve. He's their leading scorer off the bench. 6 points a game. Outstanding three-point shooter is Tommy. 10 of 17 from three-point range this year.
You just like the patience of both teams, Greg. I mean, they haven't – we talked about it. Half-court offense, they're pretty patient, both teams.
Kidwell, how good of a three-point shooter is he? Literally his first touch of the game. Buries it.
Normally you tell kids who come off the bench, get a run up, get a couple trips up and down the floor, get the juice, the blood flowing, get yourself ready. No. No, I don't need to hear that, Coach. I'm ready.
When you are 11 of 18 from three-point range in the season, you got the green light.
Oh, you absolutely do.
Leary, heat check. Not that time. Knepp had it. Scramble for it. Orm will track it down. Great feed. Bucket is good. That's Bonds, and those are 2 kids that play in the JV game for Carmel.
Tell you what, tracked it down, stayed right with it. Just great hustle on the part of both teams.
Alley-oop to Hope. Bonds did just enough to throw him off. Hope squares, shot blocked. Not sure if it was Bonds or Suter that got him.
I think it was Suter from behind.
Leary again.
Yep.
He's made his first 2, missed his last 2. Now the pace starting to pick up a little bit.
Little bit.
Again, no matter what you do, Carmel gets you to play at their pace.
Yeah, they will. Yes, they will. But if you can get, early offense, you're trying to look for it.
Isolate for Hope. Let him use that left hand and score.
When he has some space, see, he's really much more comfortable, like most players, but especially going to that left hand.
Been very balanced so far for the Vikings. Hope and Devin Graber lead them with 5. Leary 6 pacing the Greyhounds here in the early going. Both these teams are off until next Wednesday. Carmel will play host to Anderson here next Wednesday afternoon. Leary, a rare 2-point try that was a good look that does not go.
Great look that you thought was in. Hope got there just a little late, may have caused him to miss it.
Waddell has been getting some time on the bench. He'll check back in momentarily. Again, no Connor Joya, no Charlie Williams for Carmel today. Joya would be a starter. Williams be one of their first subs off the bench. Knepp gets downhill. Kidwell camping. Splash. And a timeout taken by Carmel. We'll step aside with them. The Vikings lead by 5 as you're watching on ISC and MyIndy TV.
There's a lot to love at Tom Woods Subaru. You Did you know 97% of Subarus sold in the last 10 years are still on the road? They have the lowest cost of ownership, and Subaru is the most trusted brand. And now there is even more to love with 0% financing. Only at Tom Wood Subaru. There is a lot to love at Tom Wood Subaru. Did you know 97% of Subarus sold in the last 10 years are still on the road? They have the lowest cost of ownership, and Subaru is the most trusted brand. And now there is even more to love with 0% financing. Only at Tom Wood Subaru.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people I've ever met.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
Today's game on ISC and MyNDTV, presented in part by Tom Wood Subaru. Thanks to our friends at Tom Wood Subaru for their support of Carmel Greyhound basketball. And the Tom Wood Subaru dealership on 96th Street is the unofficial Subaru dealership of the Rakestraw household.
Yeah, I mean, talk about buying yourself a Christmas present. My goodness, who does that?
Apparently me.
I guess.
Berry the basketball for Carmel. Waddell back in there as well. Orm lets fire, and he connects.
I'm telling you what, Greg, if you come off the bench, you're going to knock down three. That's been the pattern.
The 6'7" sophomore made 2 threes against North Central, scored against New Albany in the victory on Saturday night. He is now 5 of 8 from three-point range on the season.
He was as confident as a kid could be when the ball got to his hands. He was right there.
Sam's dad played at LaPorte High School. Barr-Reeve leads it by 2. Kidwell again.
Look out now.
Not that time. Leary did just enough to get him off the spot.
Just enough. You're right.
Blows down with a hand high on the shooter. In hardly any conversation would you say Barr-Reeve and Carmel, Montgomery, Indiana, and Carmel, Davies County and Hamilton County are similar, with exception for how these two teams play the game. A lot of the same stuff you see running. Again, Hope trying to avoid that second foul, stayed straight up. Barry couldn't finish over him.
Good no call. Really was. Referees have allowed them to play.
But a minimal foul game. 4 whistled against the Hounds, 2 against Barr-Reeve.
Well, both teams, they don't foul. They play great defense and don't foul.
Hope for 3.
Got to step out now. You got to step out and get a hand in his face. Because we know he can knock that shot down. Great patience, design play.
His second made 3. Came in 5 of 14 from three-point range on the season. Leary doesn't get the bounce. Again, he is now 2 for 5 after making his first 2. Suter getting a breather for Carmel. He awaits the scores table. And then Waddell, great job using that length.
Really. I mean, just a great idea. You can't always go over the top, Greg, on the pass. You've got to be aware where people are.
Second turnover that Waddell has forced by playing the passing lanes properly. Waddell, just 3 points. He averages just shy of 20. Trying to fix that right here. Missed it. Under a minute now to play before halftime. Right idea. Just Hope wasn't ready for it. Fifth Barr-Reeve turnover.
Yeah. Tough one to catch. Really was. You're perfect. Right idea. Penetrate. Look for him. I think you got to let him develop. Let him roll out of the screen a little bit more. Give him a little more time. The one thing, if you're Kurt Hope, you got 35 seconds. Don't do anything silly to pick up that second foul.
And Carmel will, to some degree, oblige by holding for 1.
This is good.
So Barr-Reeve, barring something calamitous, will take a lead to halftime against the number 2 team in the state in 4A basketball. Orm, Waddell, the shooters. Suter, the creator. Great defense, tough shot. No bucket there. End of the half. Barr-Reeve outscores Carmel 13-8 in quarter number 2. And at halftime, the Vikings take a 5-point lead to the break. Our score, Barr-Reeve 23, Carmel 18, as you're watching on ISC and MyNDTV.
How do you begin to tell a story of over 16,000 students and 2,500 employees in 23 different buildings, each with their own backgrounds and talents and goals, and yet we're still one community. We're one big, inclusive, welcoming, respectful family. The incredible choices beginning in the early learning centers and continuing through high school create opportunities and pathways to graduation.
We have a lot of opportunities and choices academically. We always try to give our students the upper hand.
There's no doubt that test scores are important, but teaching our young people the value of cross-cultural collaboration, empathy, problem solving, and critical thinking, that's equally important.
There are just so many different kinds of people that you can learn from and learn with. I am able to consider so many different perspectives.
This district is never willing to settle. It's always looking for the best results. Every student, every day. This is our story. This is Lawrence Township.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Back at Carmel High School, Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV. Let's thank our friends at Ivy Tech Community College. They are proud to sponsor the MIC on ISC. The most affordable way, perhaps, for you to get your college degree and start a high-paying career. Whether it means a one-year certificate or doing your first years at Ivy Tech and transferring to a four-year institution, this is the place for you. Check out ivytech.edu. Bob, what do we make of 23-18 Barr-Reeve at halftime?
Well, it was raining threes. Even though it's only 23-18, Greg, three-point shots been crucial to both teams. I think what you make of it is that Barr-Reeve has been able to just get a little bit of a run. They've done a nice job defensively. I think one of the problems that Carmel's having, if you think outside of those threes to start with, the first two that Leary was able to make, they haven't really had a lot of offense inside. Barr-Reeve has kind of taken that away. They've taken the dribble penetration away. On the other end, Kurt Hope is starting to pick his game up a little bit. But I still think the three-point shot has been huge for both teams.
Well, to your point, 9 field goals for Barr-Reeve. They have not attempted a free throw. Of those 9 field goals, 5 have been from three-point range. Hope has made 2. Kidwell has made 2. Devin Graber made 1. For Carmel, they have 6 field goals in the first half. 3 of those has been from three-point range. Leary with 2 and Orm with 1. So all the threes from Carmel have come from players off the bench.
Yeah, and I think the thing about Carmel's offense, too, is that, again, that they have not been able to get inside off the dribble, off the pass. I don't think they haven't relied on the three. It's just that it's been in the flow. But I think one of the things you want to do is, I'm a big proponent of trying to go to the rim, draw defenses down, kick out, draw defenses down, go to the rim and finish. I think that's part of the discussion. But, we've seen Barr-Reeve, obviously. This is their M.O. And I think the big thing that they had is, just a steady presence of Kurt Hope and Bryson Graber. And then off the bench, how about Tommy Kidwell's 2 huge threes the first 2 times he touches it?
We'll show you some of those shots when we come back, as we'll have our first half highlights. Even on Festivus, there's no airing of the grievances so far. This has been fun. Barr-Reeve leads it by 5 on ISC and MyNDTV.
Oh, baby! That got me awake.
The worm has turned in Logansport.
Look at that play.
The lob underneath, and if you don't get any picture perfect more than that.
That young man will be glad that our cameras were here for tonight's contest.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people I've ever met.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have to.
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No
a big
way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com. For a second consecutive year, the MIC is back on the ISC Sports Network. 40 events planned, the entirety of the football and basketball seasons. Not to mention special events like the wrestling championships, the swimming championships, and other sports in all 3 athletic seasons. All 8 teams, all the state champions can be found right here. The MIC on the ISC Sports Network.
Back at Carmel High School, Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell with you. Barr-Reeve leading the Greyhounds at halftime by a score of 23-18. Let's show you how we got here with our first half highlights. They are presented by Bailey and Wood Mortgage Lender, Indiana's hometown mortgage lender for all your home purchase and refinance needs. Contact Bailey and Wood, 317-535-4804, and buckets on the opening 2 possessions by Barr-Reeve.
You get Hagen Knepp, and then you have Bryson Graber knock down 3. Love the finish by, it was a great finish.
Waddell with the dunk and one.
But then you go to Leary. I mean, he's been living out there.
One of the issues for Carmel, though, is that those are the only points that Waddell has scored this game.
Right. And as you mentioned, he's a nearly 20-point scorer, and so they need him to be more aggressive on the offensive end. And once again, here's what happens when you take it to the rim. You get the good finish. Kurt Hope has had a decent game, slow start, has picked it up in the second quarter. And just, again, the draw, the kick, there's my man, Tommy Kidwell.
We weren't sure what the benches would provide in this game, knowing that both teams probably going to play 7, maybe 8. Well, Carmel has 11 of their 18 points off the bench. Kidwell, the only bench player to appear for Barr-Reeve, and he's made 2 threes.
And they've come out of the flow of the offense. You've got the penetrate, the pitch, or the draw and kick, however you want to refer to it. And, he's just steady. He's done a nice job. He's also done well on the defensive end. So really, really well done.
Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule on both the ISC Sports Network and My Indy TV. That is what's going to take place yesterday. You saw Fishers at LN, Faith Christian, as well as Clinton Prairie. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, it will be the Paul Logan Memorial Tournament. That'll take place at North Central. 4 girls games, 4 boys games. The 2 5 o'clock boys games on Tuesday and Wednesday can be seen on My Indy TV. The remaining games on ISC and Comcast Xfinity 81. Third quarter action comes your way next. Barr-Reeve has the basketball when we return. They lead by 5 on ISC and My Indy TV.
There's a lot to love at Tom Woods Subaru. Did you know 97% of Subarus sold in the last 10 years are still on the road? They have the lowest cost of ownership, and Subaru is the most trusted brand. And now there is even more to love with 0% financing. Only at Tom Woods Subaru. There's a lot to love at Tom Woods Subaru. Did you know 97% of Subarus sold in the last 10 years are still on the road? They have the lowest cost of ownership, and Subaru is the most trusted brand. And now there is even more to love with 0% financing. Only at Tom Woods Subaru.
For a second consecutive year, the MIC is back on the ISC Sports Network. 40 events planned, the entirety of the football and basketball seasons. Not to mention special events like the wrestling championships, the swimming championships, and other sports in all 3 athletic seasons. All 8 teams, all the state champions can be found right here, the MEC, on the ISC Sports Network.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
Brewer jams it home. That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net. A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn. What a swim. Six of them.
Back at the Eric Clark Activity Center. Today's game on the ISC Sports Network and My Indy TV, presented by the Indiana Donor Network. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. There's no age limit or restriction to sign up. There are more than 1,300 Hoosiers waiting for a life-saving organ transplant as we speak. So sign up today at Driven, the number 2, savelives.org. Thank you, Jordan Shue, Wes Wolf, Derek Schultz, Eldon Wheeler, Dennis Glover, and the rest of our ISC Sports Network crew. And alongside Bob Lovell, I'm Greg Rakestraw. This wonderful clash of communities. I would say of styles, but they play so similarly. I'm not sure it's different styles. But in Barr-Reeve and Carmel have shared a stage in state finals, but not against each other. They share the floor today. Hope gets the basket, and it's a 7-point lead for Barr-Reeve.
I just think you have to get that second body on it. I really do. And, Greg, it's no coincidence that Carmel and Barr-Reeve are at or near the top of their respective polls, because great defense, solid offense, sharing the ball, being patient, not turning it over. You want to win games, that's how you play.
Waddell, and that's a foul on Hope, his second. Just the third foul whistle against Barr-Reeve, but anytime he draws a foul, it catches your attention. That's 2.
And it's not coincidental that Waddell, on his first touch, puts it on the floor, trying to go to the rim. We talked about it before. He's got to get more active, more engaged.
Waddell, 60% from the floor on the season. Whack the floater. Nope. And Hagan Knepp. Good job of tracking down the rebound. Again, Knepp at 6'4". No Barr-Reeve starter under 6 feet tall. By the way, Kidwell gets the nod over Miller to start this half for Barr-Reeve. And immediately, ball finds him. Not that time. A long rebound corralled by Waddell. He is really good on the defensive glass.
Really is. And a good look for Barr-Reeve that just did not go. Nice patience, nice pass.
And he has some interest in the folks at Wright State. Bob and I can see them a couple of times a year when they play IUPUI. He is a perfect player for that system. Waddell did not get that to go, and Hope collects the board. Kurt averaging just under 9 of those a game. Kurt played his first 2 years at Forest Park, transferred to Barr-Reeve, could not play a season ago. Josh Thompson raved about what that young man did around the team not being able to play, and Hope will get 2 free throws. First of the game for Barr-Reeve as he's fouled.
When we were there earlier in the month, Coach Thompson, in talking about Hope, said he was the best player they had on their team. Here you see Hope on the step through, gets the bump. He might have been better served to just get a bounce, go ahead and go up, but to go back, Coach Thompson goes, yeah, I know he's talented, but he said he was the guy, he was the leader, he was the guy who played harder than everybody else in practice.
Today's game presented in part by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. We believe every athlete deserves specialized sports care, from varsity starters to weekend warriors. A team of experts works tirelessly to prevent, treat, and rehab sports-related injuries. Franciscan Health Sports Medicine, inspired by your competitive spirit. So Hope makes 1, misses 1. Lead grows to 8 at 26-18. Bonds is in there for Carmel. Leary about to join. Suter will pull from 17 and miss. Carmel has yet to score here in the half. Graber again turns down the three. Great seal by Hope, but misses the runner. And touched last by Barr-Reeve.
Just didn't go for Devin Graber. Great on the transition, a little secondary break, burst through, does exactly what he needs to do. As I used to say, everything but. It's okay.
The story really for Carmel is the fact that Waddell and Suter, who carry so much of the offensive freight, they have scored 7 points in today's game.
Well, and give Barr-Reeve credit. They've done a nice job with their on-ball defense. They've done a great job on their help side.
Beery, left hand, no.
Tough one. Tough shot. Did a little early, a little quick on the offense.
Top of the key three.
Got to guard him now. Got to guard him. And he's standing there looking at the bench going, they're not going to guard me, Coach. I'm just going to shoot it.
It is a double-digit lead for the 1A number 1 team. Hand check foul on Kidwell. His first, team second.
Well, he did. I mean, a little forearm shiver, as we used to say on the football field. Right now, one of the issues for Carmel, you're a half-court team, but you need to start generating some quicker and earlier offense.
Miller checks back in. Kidwell gets a breather. This is what Suter does best, but Graber, again, can hang with him. Gets the strip. Now looking for the assist.
That's a great decision. Great decision. Couldn't get it to inside to Hope, which they wanted to do.
Ball movement outstanding.
Look at that. I'm telling you right now, that is fantastic to watch.
9
really
in a row to start the quarter for Barr-Reeve, and the Vikings have a 14-point lead. We're back after this timeout. We'll show you this replay to break as you're watching on ISC and My Indy TV.
The new year is almost here, and it's time to count down to a new beginning at Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is Indiana's best higher education value, offering flexibility, career-relevant programs, and thousands of courses, including online options. Complete a degree or certificate and start working right away, or transfer your credentials and credits and save thousands on the cost of a bachelor's degree. Wherever you're headed in 2021, Ivy Tech is the place to start. Classes begin in January. Complete a free application today.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people I've ever met.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
32-18. Vikings leading it by 14 here in the midway through the third quarter. Today's game presented in part by the Indy Card Exchange. IndyCardExchange.com has more information. See how you can make money off your collection. They are getting ready to move to start the new year. New location coming to Fishers at 96th Street and I-69 coming in February.
It's impressive. How about that?
Leary for three. Needed that.
Needed it.
Leary's
Really
got 9. Yeah, it made 6 threes in the first 6 games. He's made 3 today. First points of the quarter for the Greyhounds. Great feed by Hope.
Well, they could be patient. There's no need to get in a hurry. They keep moving the ball and themselves.
Graber, drive and kick. Nepp again. Not that time, and Bonds will track it down.
Got a good look, but, little hand in his face. Look out now.
3 again for Leary, does not go, and I can credit Barr-Reeve, especially Hope.
Yeah.
There have been minimal second chance looks for Carmel today.
That is a good point. That's a good, and I know Leary just knocked down his previous shot, but again, you're in transition. You didn't have a lot of space.
And he traveled.
That's a good call. Got the hop in on the catch. He just got the little hop. And you saw him go back to bringing that second body, bringing that help defender over to try to double up in the post, which you got to give up something, Greg, to get something.
Waddell trying to split defenders. Great diving effort, and then Hope barreled into. That's a foul against Berry.
You know what? That's just too bad. Bryce Berry just doing, this is a hustle play on everybody's part. How about Kurt Hope diving on the floor? How about it? I love that.
Berry will check out. Orm will check back in. We have not seen much of Nick Frischie in today's game for Carmel. Played very well against North Central. We saw him on Friday. Knepp, high arcer with a left hand.
Yeah, he took advantage of the matchup. He really had a little height advantage, and going to that left hand, a tough shot to stop.
How does Carmel reverse this, Bob?
One of the things they've got to do, Greg, is start being more efficient offensively. You can't have empty possessions.
Bonds, good move.
Young kid just steps in there, gets to step through. Obviously on the defensive end, the decision you make on how to handle Kurt Hope is one of the big issues. The biggest thing they need to do is stop dribble penetration. You think about Barr-Reeve's ability to penetrate and pitch and find a guy in the corner or reverse the basketball has been huge.
Carmel sitting on 23. Barr-Reeve is allowing 29. I'll double-check the math in the next break, but I think the most anybody scored on them is Bloomington South's 36 15 days ago. Graber's shot blocked, but Hope saves it. There's Knepp.
Short-armed it. Had the perfect opportunity, just didn't do it.
Chance for the Hounds to get back within single digits.
Be a big thing. Big thing to do. Just be patient now.
Thought last night we were going to see the upset of 4A number 1 Lawrence North. Didn't happen that way. Now perhaps it's the upset of 4A number 2 Carmel. Leary doing his best to prevent it as he has got 12.
Big. 2 big hoops. They've been the thing they've missed is his presence knocking down shots.
What Todd was versus Duke back in 1992, it may be Will versus Barr-Reeve in 2020.
No, it's in the DNA. There's no question. You going to hold it? Coach, what are you going to do? Going to hold it for the minute?
They're spacing this out more than anything else.
I think you're right. You got your guy at the high post as a safety valve, so you space. If you have a layup, you take a layup. Or that.
Well, quickly realizing that wasn't the best of looks. Just recycle. Wait till he gets a one-on-one matchup.
And,
turns that dominant side. Does not get the bucket, but will shoot 2.
How about the patience? And the other thing you do, in that ball movement is you draw people out, you space people out, so there's nobody inside. So you got Hope isolated inside one-on-one. I like my odds.
Today's game presented in part by Chad Hart and the National Scouting Report. He works directly with college coaches on a daily basis to assist in the recruiting process. You've only got one chance to get recruited. Make the most of it by contacting Chad Hart and his team of local scouts at 317-441-4954 or email him, chart@nsr-inc.com. Hope makes them both. 16 for him. Outstanding showing for the soon-to-be Bellarmine Knight. And nowhere for Bonds to go against the 6'9 Hope.
Well, it's a good decision. Just go ahead. Don't rush to give Barr-Reeve the ball back. Take it down. Make them take the last shot.
And Carmel will have the ball to start. Quarter number 4. Suter in the lane. No. Been a tough offensive game for Suter, but that ball was last touched by a Barr-Reeve player.
See, that's tough because you get a decent look with 2.6.
Again, Waddell and Suter combined to average 30.
Right.
They have 7.
Yeah.
They have not scored in this half.
It's a great defensive effort. Went to the right, trying to go to Waddell or Leary.
Leary in time. Couldn't get it to go. 10-point lead for the number 1 team in 1A over the number 2 team in 4A. 36-26 our score here on ISC and My Indy TV. Retirement living doesn't have to be expensive. Welcome to Encore 55-plus boutique apartments, offering resort-style amenities for independent adults at normal apartment rates, not inflated independent living prices. Encore offers full service without high prices. We offer easy move and easy lease programs. Visit liveencore.com or call
570-1422 to schedule your tour. Don't wait, we're leasing up.
Oh, baby! That got me awake.
The worm has turned in Logansport.
Look at that play.
The lob underneath, and if you don't get any picture perfect more than that.
That young man will be glad that our cameras were here for tonight's contest.
This is not at Carmel High School. This is from our trip to Barr-Reeve 2 weeks ago. A look at the expansive wall of fame they have at the new Vikings ship down in Montgomery. Today's game on ISC and MyNDTV, presented in part by Old National Bank, committed to Indianapolis with their enthusiastic and energetic team of associates to provide an equal client care and solutions. Voted one of the world's most ethical companies for 9 consecutive years. Your bank for Indianapolis, member FDIC. Suter finds a lane and got fouled before a shot.
Well, they need Pete Suter to elevate his game. They need him to be just on that play. They need him to be more assertive, taking it to the rim, make more things happen. They have plenty of time. There's plenty of time. It's only a 10-point lead. They've got plenty of time.
Waddell. And he's guarded by the 6'4 Nepp and then runs with a 6'9 Hope.
Well, Hope does a nice job of giving help off his guys.
And that's a foul on Devin Graber.
Right.
His second, team fourth. And Barr-Reeve has played 6 in today's game. Carmel has gone a bit deeper into the bench. And that's in part because of O'Connor Joya, their usual starting point guard. Charlie Williams, who started last year, has been a backup this year, but provides some size at 6'10". Orm at 6'7". His second made 3 of the game.
Huge, huge. Would get you into 7, get you, mentally, you're past the double-digit mark, get a little spark. You got to come down and defend.
And almost all the points for Carmel since the first quarter have come from the bench.
Yep.
Miller misses. And now, if Carmel scores here, they won't. Offensive foul.
How about your guy? Talk to me now, Devin Graber. Saw it, anticipated it, held his ground, sprinted back to get himself going. That's the big thing. What a great hustle play. A big play. And you see him. He's there. Absolutely. And look at it. Little sticks his tongue out a little bit.
Second charge he's taken today. And Barr-Reeve will not just go into a stall, but they will spread the court and make Carmel guard him for 42 feet.
And you like the move, a little half-court pressure by Carmel after a score, something you got to think about.
Everything designed to get Hope a low block touch.
Well, right now it's designed to give him a low block touch without a lot of help, if you can find it.
Graber, one of the best point guards in the state, regardless of classification.
They're in no hurry. They're going to take good shots if they get them. There's a good one.
Hope, not that time, and Orm the rebound.
A little bit quick on the release. Love how they sprint back, Greg, take away transition opportunities to the rim, sprint back, fan out, just like you're taught. Ooh.
Good recovery by Suter.
Almost.
To stop before he turns it over. Now Frischi was yet to score tonight. Orm, not that time. And again, the story for Barr-Reeve have been the minimal offensive rebounds Carmel has had. And a timeout going to be taken. A full timeout by Coach Thompson and Barr-Reeve. His Vikings lead by 7. We'll talk more about Coach when we come back here on ISC and MyNDTV.
There's a lot to love at Tom Woods Subaru. Did you know 97% of Subarus sold in the last 10 years are still on the road? They have the lowest cost of ownership, and Subaru is the most trusted brand. And now there is even more to love with 0% financing. Only at Tom Woods Subaru. There's a lot to love at Tom Woods Subaru. Did you know 97% of Subarus sold in the last 10 years are still on the road? They have the lowest cost of ownership, and Subaru is the most trusted brand. And now there is even more to love with 0% financing. Only at Tom Woods Subaru.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum. like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
Confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest fan. Yeah.
No
a big
way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
There have been so few stops in this game that we haven't talked much about either coach in today's game.
Right.
There is Josh Thompson. He is 57-4 since taking over at Barr-Reeve.
That's not bad.
That's decent. 25-1 last year. Their lone loss to Lagodi. They would avenge that loss to the Lions and winning their sectional championship. Josh's first year, they were the runners-up to Blackhawk Christian in the 1A ranks. And they are clearly a 1A favorite this year. Hope missed the first one and then went to the ground and getting the rebound. Steps called.
It was just really kind of not in a position to go up with any strength. And, his footwork kind of got him there. Again, here you are, Carmel. Chance to cut into it again. Chance to make it a two-possession game.
We witnessed LN come from 17 down last night. Largest deficit was 14 here. Is it a walk or a foul? I think it's going to be a foul. That'll go against Bryson Graber.
Got him on the floor.
No Barr-Reeve player has more than 2 fouls. 15 fouls, so still a foul to give in terms of the bonus. Trying to isolate for Waddell. Leary, opposite side. Make it 5 threes for Will Leary.
Well, he's been huge in this second half. And he came out the start of the half shooting it, and he's continuing, and that's massive. Again, cuts it down, 2-possession game.
In the Carmel basketball newsletter, he said he's into archery. He's been quite the marksman today. Kedwell trying to answer. Not there, but Hope finds the loose ball and scores.
Big basket, huge basket. You're also, you're thinking about now, hey, we got to let Kurt Hope get touches each time down if you can.
All but 1 basket this half for Carmel have been on threes.
Well, their patience, Greg, they penetrate, pitch.
That still remains the same. Frischi misses the shot.
Well, he's trying to force against a pretty good post defender in Kurt Hope.
First and foremost, Kurt's trying to make sure this team wins this game today. But this is a showcase for him to be an Indiana All-Star. 3 for Graber.
Big one, to say the least. Great patience. I mean, you think about how Hagen Knepp has handled the basketball and found the right guys.
Suter got fouled right at home.
Yikes.
Graber's 3rd foul and Suter's first basket this half.
One of those cardinal sins. Never foul a jump shooter. Don't foul a jump shooter. You hear it the first day of practice.
Suter, a good, not great free throw shooter.
Right, but you know what? The good thing, we've talked about it. They needed him to start picking himself up, and he's done it.
Rattles that one home. He's got 7. And back to a 2-possession game.
The press has really, I think, given Carmel energy, made them pick up their game. Now get a little turnover. If they're willing to give it to you, you take it.
And there are passing lanes for Barr-Reeve in every other game that they won't see in the length of Carmel. Larry again.
Oh, my.
Again.
Oh, my.
Larry's 6th made 3.
Oh, my.
41-38.
Now you got a game.
Half-court trap by Carmel. And a foul against Hope, clearing off space in the low block.
Wow. See, a little press sometimes, Greg, gives you energy. Obviously, you're doing it to get turnovers if you can get it. You're also trying to use it to energize your team.
So a 30-second timeout has been called by Barr-Reeve. We will keep it right here with 3:32 left to play. This 30 presented by the Indiana Donor Network. Sign up today and you can help save lives in the future. Being an organ and tissue donor can save up to 8 lives and heal as many as 75 others. Find out more info at driven2savelives.org.
Great move by Coach Osborne to go to the press. A little 1-2-2, 1-3-1 half court. You know what I mean? Get your guys a little more energy. And it's funny how sometimes that energy from defense carries over into your offense. And what about the half? William Leary. He's in rhythm. He believes now when it leaves his hand, it's in. He's confident. They still have not closed out on him to this point. Barr-Reeve has not gotten a hand in his face, and they need to because he's just going to continue to knock down shots.
Chance to tie it this time down, whether that's Waddell, Leary, or somebody else. Frishy off the window, missed it. Had a good look that wouldn't go, and then Knepp got fouled by Orr.
Just didn't go in, Greg. Didn't go. Everything but go in.
Frishy does not shoot very often. He was 7 of 12 from the floor in the season coming into the game.
Hagan Knepp kind of changes his trajectory, gets right in front, and gets, you know how it is, somebody's in front of you. You don't mean to push him, but you did.
And that's going to be a foul on Frishy. 6th foul against the Greyhounds. 3rd on Frishy. So no free throws yet.
No. Love the strategy. Go to your guy. Post him up, throwing the ball. And if he doesn't like it, he'll kick it out to some spotted shooters.
Graber finds a seam but missed it.
Tough angle. Hard to make that.
Leary for the tie.
Again. Man, oh, man.
Was on line.
I'm surprised he misses, to be honest. It was on line. We have a great angle on it. Yeah, it was right there.
Now you're looking for layups if you're Barr-Reeve. They got one. Graber with 10.
Good call, Coach.
And the way he has stepped up, he averaged 6 a game.
Yeah.
Big game for Devin Graber.
No, it was perfect. They need layups. Suter's trying to get back into it.
And then he and Hope play with each other.
Oh, the good
Orm
steal.
rips it away.
How about it? Orm is right there. I think everybody stopped because the bodies are on the floor, no whistle, and Orm just takes advantage of it.
My buddy Orion really needs to stop playing him in the JV games.
Oh,
Put him exclusively on the varsity. 43-40.
Oh, no.
And that's a turnover. Not officially. Now it is.
Yeah.
Thought that was an over and back.
You know, there's not that much pressure on you. You know, you just – I think right now the 6 guys, I think if you look at Barr-Reeve, they're a little bit gassed right now.
They played once this week, and they did play Saturday. Carmel played Friday and Saturday.
Right.
The Saturday game was an equal-length road trip as this one is for Barr-Reeve playing at New Albany. Leary will take the 2 and missed it. And that's off the hands of Waddell.
Big, just couldn't get it to the square. If you're Barr-Reeve, look, you got to handle pressure here. Keep somebody in the middle of the floor, handle the pressure, get a little 2-2-1, deny if they can.
This is the part where I point out we had a team win in overtime last night that never led in the second half.
Oh, my.
Steele, Orm fouled. Knepp commits the foul.
And I think Bryson Graber's got a decent argument. He gets manhandled. You don't see it here, but what you see is the end of the play. Got fouled, no whistle. Great move to the rim by Orm. Samuel Orm's been big now. He's been huge.
First free throws of the season. Knocks him down for Orm. He's got 9. Today's game brought to us by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, Indiana's hometown mortgage lender. For all your home purchase and refinance needs, contact Bailey & Wood, 317-535-4804. 1-point game.
You got a shooter stroke that's going in. Again, the press has been the difference maker for Carmel.
32 of 43 points for Carmel off the bench. That steal off the bench. A chance to take their first lead since the first half. The sophomore buries it.
Wow.
13 for Orm.
Wow.
45-43 Greyhounds. Timeout taken before the bucket by Hope. Timeout taken by Barr-Reeve.
How about the patience on the part of Carmel? Ball movement, all the things they needed, knockdown threes.
Timeout taken Barr-Reeve. Let's step aside with them. A minute left to play. Hounds lead on this bucket on ISC and MyNDTV.
I'm Ryan Newman, And since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
I'm counting on you to give me a burger with cheese.
Do I look like I work here?
Oh, baby! That got me awake.
The worm has turned in Logansport.
Look at that play. The lob underneath, and if you don't get any picture perfect more than that.
That young man will be glad that our cameras were here for tonight's contest. (45-43) Carmel. The story, the bench players for Carmel. Leary with 18. Orm, the 6'7" sophomore with 13. Just made the go-ahead three again. He played briefly in the JV game earlier.
How about that? That's amazing.
Absolutely
amazing.
Two of the top 7 players missing for Carmel today, and their bench has stepped up. Barr-Reeve has led for not all of this game, but the vast majority of it. Almost the hook by net. I don't think you're holding for one.
No, not at all.
Kidwell didn't hold it, let fire, and now Barr-Reeve will have to apply some pressure or potentially foul to send Carmel to the free throw line. Carmel has made all 4 free throws they've attempted in this game. The game of keep away is on. And a timeout taken by Ryan Osborne. Carmel, as we've mentioned, 80% from the free throw line this season. As far as the players in the game, Leary, a 75% free throw shooter. Orm, 2 for 2 on the season. Suter is 15 for 23. Waddell is 19 for 21. The 4 primarily ball handlers on the floor right now for Carmel.
Well, you're in a tough situation, obviously, if you're Barr-Reeve. Your best bet probably with those percentages. It doesn't really matter who you're fouling. The big thing is, if you're Carmel, you got to space the court, step to passes, be tough with the basketball. And then when you get to the free throw line, got to knock them down. If you're Barr-Reeve, you get the ball back, you got to go to the rim. Got to go to the rim. Don't settle for the 3 quickly. Try and get to the rim and get something going that way. And, to go back, I think the 3 just before this foul, just a little too quick. Maybe too quick. You still wanted to maybe let Kurt Hope have a look or a touch and see what happened.
Today's game presented in part by Tom Woods Subaru. They have donated over $70,000 to Miracle Place to help build a playground in an underprivileged community. Subaru's a product you can trust. Kelly Blue Book's most trusted brand, 6 years running. Orm is fouled by Kidwell. So Orm, this is 1 plus the bonus. 9th team foul by Barr-Reeve.
So he comes to the gym. Okay, I'm going to play in the JV game.
He knew he was going to play in the varsity game.
I'm going to get some varsity time. But we know how that is, right? You know how it is. And boom, he comes in first touch, knocks down a big 3, and now he's been as confident as a guy can be.
I think there's an unofficial rule. You can't score double figures in the varsity game and keep playing on the JV team. He's got 13.
If there isn't a rule.
But he missed that one.
Yeah.
So now Barr-Reeve, 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. Knapp ties it.
Got the guy you wanted to have the ball with the exception of Hope.
And the clock keeps running.
Keeps going.
Timeout, Carmel, right here.
Got it. Wow.
5.7 seconds left to go. Coach, what you drawing up?
Oh, right now I think you're drawing something up. You've got shooters, so you're good there. I think you're looking to get the ball in the hands, I would think, get the ball in the hands of Suter because he can get to the rim, make some things, make decisions. I think Waddell, put it in his hands, have him come off to have those guys, if you can, the screen, get them in motion so they can get the ball and try to penetrate and get something going. You got spotted shooters who can do it. That's the other thing.
Folks, I hope you've enjoyed these last 2 days of basketball on the ISC Sports Network. Lawrence North's miracle comeback last night, hitting 3 threes in the final 18 seconds, 2 in the final 2.2 seconds to get the victory
in overtime over Fishers. Carmel trailed at one point, 32-18 in the third quarter. Now tied at 45 with under 6 seconds to play.
Again, I think your screen, try and get the ball. You went to Leary.
Leary looking for Waddell. Now step back on the drive. No!
Oh!
Waddell almost committed basket interference if that would have went.
Oh.
And for a second consecutive day, we have free basketball on ISC and MyIndy TV.
Who has a better job than you?
It's tough to figure that out,
I don't think anyone does. I don't think anybody does. You are the man. Absolutely.
So 45 all, Barr-Reeve and Carmel. And again, I love the fact that Barr-Reeve wanted to play this game.
Absolutely.
I love the fact that Carmel was willing to play this game.
Right.
You pointed out in the pregame show, again, this was not a COVID-arranged marriage, as we have talked about with certain athletic contests this year. This was scheduled during the course of the offseason. This is the second 4A opponent that Barr-Reeve has played, the other one being Bloomington South, back on December the 8th. The other two, Castle, coming up in January, and Barr-Reeve and Jasper have played for the last several years. They will play in February, and there was a brief moment in time last week that Barr-Reeve thought they were going to be playing Hammond on Friday night.
Right.
After they had a game that was postponed. We will see Hammond next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's part of the Paul Logan Memorial Tournament at North Central. Now is the time to check your phones, folks, because in about 30 seconds, overtime will be underway here at the Eric Clark Activity Center.
You know what? Barr-Reeve, I think you look back in the fourth quarter, got tentative offensively. They weren't attacking. Large part, obviously, because Carmel went to the trap and got very aggressive with it. But, this is a different situation now.
Carmel trying to overcome the absence of two players. Suter blocked by Nepp. And again, just a sluggish offensive night. The story of what Barr-Reeve has done to slow down Waddell, who has scored 3 points and has not scored since the opening quarter. A massive part of the story in this game. Orm. And Graber tracks it down. And Graber, the point guard, averages 8 rebounds a game. You can see why.
He just has the nose for the ball, and he goes to it. The other part of what he does, he seldom makes mistakes. Are you trying to post up Kurt Hope as much as you can, trying to empty out, help? Now he's going to screen and step. Oh.
Right idea, just Nepp turned before he caught it. 13th Barr-Reeve turnover. Both teams go empty on their opening possession of the overtime. Suter from the elbow. That experience pays off.
Yeah, it really does.
Starter on their state championship team as a freshman 2 years ago. And steal here. Suter lays it up and in.
Just like that. Suter gets 2 quick ones.
He's one of those guys that gets you 5 of everything.
Yeah, it's just one of those lazy cross-court passes that you don't need to make.
Nepp. Not there.
No, a little bit of force, under pressure, some duress, hand in his face.
You wonder how much gas is left in the tank for Barr-Reeve because they played 6 today.
I think a lot because I think they're gamers. What a pass.
Frishy. Didn't have the angle. Quickly kicks it out. So halfway through the overtime, 4-point lead. Carmel's got the ball.
So they're trying to get Suter and Waddell in it.
Let's fire again.
Boom. My goodness.
What a shot.
My goodness.
7-0 in overtime in favor of the Greyhounds.
Well, I said it to start the half. You got to, if you're Carmel, you needed to get going more on the bounce, trying to penetrate, create some things, and it's a perfect example of it.
So Bryson Graber will shoot 1 plus the bonus on the 7th Carmel foul.
Samuel Orm ought to tell Coach Osborne, I'm good to play 1 quarter every night in the JV game.
Just to get them warm?
Just get loose, and I'll give you 3 solid quarters in the varsity game. That's an amazing night for this young man. What a fun game for him.
What a fun game for fans
for
around the state.
Yeah.
This one has lived up to the advanced billing. And Graber connects. Oh, I read my stats wrong. Graber, I said 8 rebounds a game. No, he's 2.5. What he does very well is he dishes the ball out over 6 assists a game.
Right.
Frankly, his offensive numbers in terms of points would be higher. There was not such great talent around him. Needed to make that free throw, though, and missed it.
Now they've got to go press. They've got to get pressure on the basketball as much as they can.
And again, Carmel is such a tough team to turn over. And if you send them to the free throw line, they tend to knock him down. Frischi all alone. Tried to go block to Waddell, and frankly should have went up with that one. There is that rare Carmel turnover. They're 6th. Doesn't have to be a 3, but it'd be nice. That's nice. Now a foul was called. I think the basket will count.
It does. Absolutely.
Now who's the foul on? It was away from the ball. Foul will be called against Hope, but is the basket good?
Good basket.
I believe the basket should count.
The basket has to count. Yeah, absolutely.
So that clear out on Hope will be his 4th foul. But again, the question is the basket good?
I just think that, you don't have the luxury of having the replays here in high school sports that you do in college. And so we do. We're going to see it. You're going to see it at 42 here.
Yeah, it should be a good basket.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Count the basket.
Count the basket.
And then free throws at the other end. Yeah, three-point basket is good.
Yeah, Pete Suter for the free throws.
So Suter will shoot 2 shots. That is the 10th team foul.
Big basket now.
And now Josh Thompson saying, hey,
wrong
is
guy.
It 31 or 10?
Got the wrong guy.
So it's Suter that's at the line right now. But again, watch who Hope makes contact with. It's 31.
It's 31. Which is
and again, they have now moved it to Frischi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job. Good job of officiating. You know how it is, Greg. Put your best you put your free throw shooter having just stepped to the line, right?
Frischi 4 of 6 from the line this season. Suter 15 of 23. Again, Suter the player that has much more experience in these big games. Carmel wants to get a sub in. It'll come after the first free throw in terms of Josh Wack.
In for defense.
Yep.
Good defender. Great on-ball defender.
And Frischi connects.
Frischi stepping up there going, I can knock this down. Come on.
Frischi, a senior, his older brother, played here at Carmel as well. A 2-possession game. Misses the second.
You got time. You got plenty of time.
And now a timeout coming for Barr-Reeve. Again, we'll keep it here with 1:03 left to go. And Barr-Reeve is playing at Newcastle next Wednesday. We'll have a chance to see them again next Wednesday as part of the coverage of the Hall of Fame Champions Class, or the Hall of Fame, Raymond James Hall of Fame tournament. It'll be Barr-Reeve, Blackhawk Christian, Shenandoah, and Blackford. And tip of the cap to Blackford. Big win for Blackford last night,
yeah.
Winning at New Albany 71-70.
Luke Brown goes for 33. Pretty good night. Very nice night.
I want to thank our friends, the Davies County Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau. Joe Morris and the rest of his staff, they were so gracious to have us down at Barr-Reeve 15 days ago. Not only did they bring us down to televise the first ever game in that building, but they brought Bob and I and the crew dinner from Redbones.
Oh,
we enjoyed that for like a couple of days.
Oh, my goodness.
So thanks to our friends at Davies County. We appreciated their hospitality.
Good stuff.
Hope to be back down that way in the very near future. It was the first time you and I had called a game down in that area in about 9 years.
Been a while.
Yep.
It had been a while. The last time we didn't have the opportunity to go on Interstate 69. So
yeah, it had changed a little bit.
Yeah, the trip was much easier to take.
It doesn't have to be a 3. Just needs to be points for Barr-Reeve. Set the flare. Miller turns it down.
Got to look inside when you can.
Knepp. Good look, wouldn't go. Hope battling. Foul called on Frischie.
You like it because if you're Barr-Reeve, you love it because the clock is stopped and you get a chance to go to the free throw line.
That's 4 on Frischie. And Hope, who is 3 of 4 from the line, make it 5 on Frischie, so he fouls out. And Hope will shoot 1 plus the bonus.
Right.
On the season, 68% from the line. We mentioned a couple of times he will play at Bellarmine. Bellarmine was playing Notre Dame this afternoon.
Right.
Scott Davenport, longtime head basketball coach at Ballard High School, coached Allen Houston, not to mention our buddy Todd Howard.
Right.
In his days at Ballard High School, now the coach at Bellarmine. Miss, put back, missed again. Hope, yes, and one opportunity.
Wow. I tell you what, that's because Hagen Knepp just stayed right with it inside and kept it alive. Kurt Hope right there to clean it up. The and one opportunity. You'll see it. It's kept alive. And here's Hope in the right place, right time, and one.
And makes the free throw.
Got a game.
So Hope with 21, 1-point game. And now if you're Barr-Reeve, I think you can play a little defense
you got to play
for a
straight.
little bit.
No, you play straight. Absolutely.
Try to at least try to force a 10-second violation if you can.
The biggest thing you don't want to do is you don't want to foul a jump shooter.
I don't think Carmel's going to shoot at this point.
You don't want to.
That ball was tipped.
Yeah.
So Suter can go to the backcourt to get it. And then Graber gives the foul on Suter. So now Suter will shoot 2. For Graber, that's his 4th foul.
He's been pretty solid at the line. We know that. Last time there. So much time, Greg. So much time here.
Suter 11 points today. That's right at his average. He's got 4 in overtime. Line drives that one home. Western Michigan amongst the teams that are looking into his services. He will, if he goes to that level, he'll never be an offensive star, but he can be as valuable as any player because of what he does in every other aspect of the game.
He'll be a kid that you can count on in your top 8 or 10.
Yep.
And he will play hard.
Missed it, but Berry steals it away.
He had him set up, just got him from behind.
Wack is fouled, who is 10 of 11 from the free throw line.
Bryson Graber just kicking himself going, have to know he's there.
And how about Berry? Starter, 5 points, 3 rebounds a game. Makes his biggest play of the day.
It's huge. Absolutely huge.
Wack missed it. So Carmel has left the door open from the free throw line. Wack has yet to score today. Gets that one. Let's see if Barr-Reeve asks for a timeout, lets him play out. Graber, step back 3.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
We've had a run of banked-in threes on ISC. Tie game, 55 apiece. Suter in traffic off the window. Score it. Timeout called by Barr-Reeve.
Oh, my. I can't talk.
Suter with 14. The banks are not closed for the holiday just yet.
Well, just big shots by both guys. I mean, come on now. You see, here's the off the window by Suter. And we talked about it all in the second half. Going to the rim, making things happen. He's the guy. And then you go back, Bryson Graber from downtown off the window.
I really have to talk to my buddies Aaron Ash, the AD at Barr-Reeve,
right,
as well as Jim Inskeep at Carmel. We need to play this game again.
Oh, my
They need to play a return date in Montgomery next year.
This has been, you've had 2 straight of these games, and just a fantastic way to finish.
And how about Graber? That's his first field goal of the game. First field goal of the game.
Yeah.
So
when they needed it.
You got 2.8 left.
Right.
What are you drawing up here?
Well, the problem is you got 84 feet to negotiate. So you're trying for a long pass into your front court and to the right guy. I think, you look at this in terms of who's going to inbound it. I think you're looking for probably Hagen Knipp or Kurt Hope. Those are your guys. Or maybe you got Jamison Miller out there who's going to be spotted. So you're going to screen. You got time for one pass and catch,
Yep.
and now you got to go.
We'll get a look to win it. Left it short. Carmel gets the win today, but frankly, we're all winners because this game was played. And there were some fans, limited fans in attendance at Carmel tonight. 57-55. Carmel wins it. Post-game show comes your way next on ISC and My Indy TV.
The new year is almost here, and it's time to count down to a new beginning at Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is Indiana's best higher education value, offering flexibility, career-relevant programs, and thousands of courses, including online options. Complete a degree or certificate and start working right away, or transfer your credentials and credits and save thousands on the cost of a bachelor's degree. Wherever you're headed in 2021, Ivy Tech is the place to start. Classes begin in January. Complete a free application today.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Oh, baby! That got me awake.
The worm has turned in Logansport.
Look at that play.
The lob underneath, and if you don't get any picture perfect more than that.
That young man will be glad that our cameras were here for tonight's contest.
Brewer jams it home. That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net. A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness. 122.60 for Penn.
What a swim! Six of them.
Back at the Eric Clark Activity Center. Great to see our buddy Scott Heddy, the former Carmel Greyhounds coach, these days at Marion University, here checking out today's game. In overtime, Carmel extends their record to 7-0. They beat Barr-Reeve 57-55. Alongside Bob Lovell, Greg Rakestraw with you. Our post-game show, a service of Tom Woods Subaru. They are proud to have donated over $70,000 to Miracle Place, help them build a playground in an underprivileged community. Lest you know, Subaru is a product you can trust. They've been Kelly Blue Book's most trusted brand for 6 years running. Bob, where do you begin to describe this one?
I wish I knew. I will tell you that it was everything you hoped it would be, Greg. You know, in terms of 4A number 2, 1A number 1. We've had the luxury of seeing Barr-Reeve, and we know how legit they are and how good they are, how talented and well coached. We've seen Carmel too, and know their story, but this just felt like a regional semi-state kind of game because it was so back and forth and well played, and people stepping up when they needed to make big plays at both ends. It's just so much fun.
Let's talk about kind of long-term benefits.
Right.
For Barr-Reeve, playing this level of team on this stage, what does that do for them the rest of the year?
Well, I think what it does is you can go back to that as a group of guys, and when you find yourself down at halftime or down in the fourth quarter, you can draw from that experience and think about the things that you did collectively to get yourself back into it. Look, Barr-Reeve's out of this thing in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, Greg. Once Carmel got on the run, and then they just kept chipping away and came back and forced it into overtime, and they had a chance to win at the horn. So you look at that as a positive. I think if you're Carmel, you look at guys, you got to come ready to play. It doesn't matter who, doesn't matter where. And if I'm Ryan Osborne, I tell my guys, I'm proud of the second half you played. proud of how you came out and battled back and made the plays we needed to make at both ends of the floor.
What will this do? You talk about the good things for Carmel. Is there a particular team, or simply put, as you said, because this was played like a state tournament game?
Sure.
Is that where this game really benefits Carmel once you get to the month of March?
I think it benefits them in the sectional, because their sectional's never an easy one
Right.
either. And I think that that it will benefit them in every level of the tournament. But I think more than anything, they've got some. You go to your guys and say, look, this is what you did tonight against as good a team as we will play the entire year, no matter what conference, no matter what class. These guys are as good as anybody we're going to play, and we didn't have two of our key guys. And this just shows you that we need every one of you to step up there and play the way you played tonight. We need you to do that every night we play, and you're capable of it. You're all capable of it. I mean, you look, who would have thought coming in that Samuel Orm would have the game he had, Greg? He's played one quarter in the JV game, and he looks like he's a 3-year starter. And so, how about the confidence boost for him? And people feed off of that he did, the way he played, and they look at that. And now if you're Ryan Osborne, you're going to guys going, hey, no excuse for not to play at the level you're capable of playing.
Time for our first of many post-game awards. We start with the good hands of the game presented by Ryan Owens of Allstate Insurance. Basketball fans, do business with a basketball guy. 2 locations in Indianapolis to better serve you. You're always in good hands with Ryan Owens at Allstate. Call today, 317-865-3000. How about the good hands of Pete Suter?
Well, he was big. And, it's what a senior does, Greg. Guy steps up. He's basically, look, you get the hoop, you get the steal, and you get the finish. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're a senior leader on your basketball team.
Suter had 4 points going into the fourth quarter. He has a total of 7 in the overtime. Suter helps get the job done for the Carmel Greyhounds tonight. We'll take this final timeout when we come back. Our play of the game, you can probably figure that one out, and our player of the game as well. What a great way to go into a holiday break. A classic at Carmel. In overtime, the Greyhounds beat Barr-Reeve 57-55. We're back to wrap it up next on ISC and MyIndy TV.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
Confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people I've ever met.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have to.
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Oh, baby! That got me awake.
The worm has turned in Logansport.
Look at that play.
The lob underneath, and if you don't get any picture perfect more than that.
That young man will be glad that our cameras were here for tonight's contest.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown. Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas.
Hamilton will score! Back for the final time here at the Eric Clark Activity Center. Greg Rakestraw, Bob Lovell, and again our wonderful ISC Sports Network crew. We love what we do every day, but the last couple of days they have been special. Both games going to overtime. 4A numbers 1 and 2 survive. You wouldn't say advance, it's a regular season, but survive games where they really didn't lead for much of the contest at all. Ends up being Carmel that gets the victory today, 57-55. By the way, Carmel and LN play at Lawrence North February the 4th. Not that I'm looking ahead to that game at all in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Time now for our player of the game. And for this one, we go to Will Leary of Carmel. Again, Will off the bench, like most of the kids playing for Carmel this year. Got a lot of varsity experience last year. This year, he had made 6 threes in the first 6 games. Today, he made 6 threes alone. Finished the game as the leading scorer for the Hounds with 18 points.
Well, he came out and shot it well to start, and he was really confident. And as a spotted shooter, as we mentioned, it's in his DNA. He can, he had plenty of space and was right there and made some crucial hoops. So these were not just threes, Greg. These were all big. He got a great start. I think it got him in rhythm, and he played that way the entire night.
Our player of the game presented by Ivy Tech. Now time for our play of the game, and when the game is won on a shot with 4 seconds left to go, well, that's going to be our play of the game. We mentioned the fact that Pete Suter had 7 points in overtime. Those are the last 2. After Bryson Graber banked one and to tie us at 55, Suter answers the winner, 57-55, the final score.
Go to a senior leadership, and it was nothing but right off the window for the win. Great play.
3-year starter. Yep. Starter on a 4A state championship team as a freshman.
Right.
And again, Suter got the job done. Carmel wins it 57-55. Next up for these two teams, again, Barr-Reeve will play twice next Wednesday in the Raymond James Hall of Fame Classic. They will take on Blackhawk Christian in a rematch of the 1A state championship game from 2 years ago. They will face either Shenandoah or Blackford in the evening game. You'll have the call of that from ihsaatv.org. Next up for Carmel, they will play host to Anderson here, same time, 3 o'clock JV, 4:30 varsity tip time. Next time we will see Carmel will be 3 weeks from now, January 13th, when they play host to Cathedral. We'll have that game on ISC and my Indy TV. We have had Barr-Reeve now 3 times in the last 15 days.
Right.
As of now, we are not scheduled to see them again this year. We may have to change that because they have been so fun to watch. And, yes, they now have their first loss of the year, but this is a great team that Coach Thompson has.
It really is. It's deserving of a number 1 ranking in single A. They have experience. They have talent. They're well-drilled, well-schooled. Both these teams, Greg, have great chances to play for championships.
We at the ISC Sports Network will take a slight holiday break. Our next games come your way on Tuesday at the Paul Logan Memorial Tournament. 2 girls games, 2 boys games. Girls games start at 1, boys games start at 5. Catch the 5 o'clock game Tuesday and Wednesday on my Indy TV. Those of you on the ISC Sports Network, stay tuned for a special presentation of Kings of Indiana coming up at 6:30. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and yay for us, the basketball we have shared the last couple of nights. For Bob Love and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for watching on ISC and my Indy TV.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Oh, baby! That got me awake!
The worm has turned in Logansport.
Look at that play.
The lob underneath, that is. You don't get any picture perfect more than that.
That young man will be glad that our cameras were here for tonight's contest.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
Ball is loose, picked up by Marion.